Hey, this is part two, Homo sapiens. So far, it's appropriately titled because so far you don't see any Homo sapiens. You just see the results of what they've done to counter terraform the planet. So what is this one? It's, hey, save on food. I'm going to advertise you here by saying thanks for donating your things that were becoming outdated on the day before, the morning of. Because, you know, I ate the kind of little pickles, and then there was pieces of sausage and cheese that I mixed with this chicken meatball, maybe chicken meatball spaghetti that was also a leftover from somewhere, maybe from the same place. And I'm grateful that I didn't waste my money when I have to fix my home, but also don't like food to go to waste. So, yeah, so like I feel bad sometimes going to the food bank just because I see a lot of the worst of what we have to offer as a species, and I'm not necessarily talking about the recipients. And but you know, to also not waste food is kind of nice, and to not be disappointed in food. Sometimes I spend a lot of money on, like in restaurants, that wasn't that good compared to, let's say, this is where I put a lot of hot sauce and things. Um, you know, like in the book by Tom Phillips that I did a 4-part about, and I didn't read his other books, so but I still have reason to believe that he may very likely, he didn't answer the email I sent. He does say he doesn't check email so much as other mediums online. And, but, you know, even if he saw it, I predict he would ignore it, because I say, here's my critique of you. This is the first of 4-part. I'd love to help you with finishing your last book on the subject of us as a species. It's kind of one of my specialties. Probably won't hear from. One of the reasons is probably he suffers from false hope. So, but in Tom Phillips' book, you know, there's a particular category of leader or speaker, you know, like Hitler was a speaker, and that people will gravitate to more and more during this Anthropocene. But there's another kind, and there's the ones like that are really famous, like that graphic novel about Homo sapiens that I'll probably do a series on later, a series of graphic novels. What's his name? Yusuf? I don't know. So it's people like that that have unrealistic hope or human chauvinism that we're this close to kind of fixing things and we're really smart, and perhaps this is the cycle of history where we break our bad patterns, when actually, you know, evidence is they're so ingrained now, they're just modern the way we do them. That's the evidence that even your best scientists that have false hope or that suffer from human chauvinism don't realize. So that's the type of people you got to watch out for. So, for example, people that say, what's so great about humans compared to other species, let's say, and this is inaccurate, as if we build coral reefs, is we can build great structures. Well, that's not really, honestly, a trait we have. What we like to do as a species is break structures. And sometimes we break our own, and sometimes we break others. Now, we don't help others build their great things as if we're this great species who builds great things and enjoys it and shares and helps each other out and has a global community. For example, if you look at China here, that have been building roads, let's say, in parts of Africa, and, well, what's their ulterior motives? How good are these roads? What's their ulterior motives? Is it like philanthropy they're doing? Like this is like a charity and the government has these, charity? No, they have long-term goals to plunder those resources, right? And that includes the people. And that's the history of all of our species, really. Now, if it doesn't work out for them in the future, because other countries will mess in there and, they'll go to war, and eventually they'll destroy those roads. And that's when you can see, yeah, they didn't have good motives. They really kind of didn't go their way, and they're destroying it in this war where others are now getting in to plunder these resources. So again, we're not great builders of things. We're great breakers and destroyers of things. So again, how can we break any cycles without having this as our conversation? So the ones that give you false hope about how great we are as a species, and how much technology is this close to suddenly make us better humans up here somehow. I don't know how that would work. because that's not the technology you're working on, which doesn't require metals. It requires human thinking tools, which means sitting in a group and talking about who you really are as people, what your triggers are, what you didn't learn, what you're hesitating to learn, what you need to learn, what you need to teach your kids, the concept of collective learning, what reality really is, and the feelings that come with the shame and guilt and remorse of it, as reframed through this supportive group into the motivating type emotions to succeed and break these historical cycles. I've never heard of such a group. I've never heard of it.